Hey, hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Brandon. This is LiveActuary, bringing strategies for balancing success. And in this video, we're going to be discussing how to develop coaching, leadership, and managerial soft skills. So let's get into it. Steve, in his comment here, suggested that a video on managerial responsibilities would be extremely helpful. In short, we're going to have to demonstrate that we are successful leaders before that responsibility is going to be trusted onto us within a company. So I'm going to give you guys 4 tips that I've been using in my life to develop and demonstrate those skills of coaching and management. Timestamps for this video are going to be up here, so skip forward if there's something you feel is more relevant to you. The first topic is going to be take leadership opportunities through volunteering. Second is going to be read books, learn from an expert. Third will be get a mentor or a life coach. And number 4, look for spaces where you can give and receive feedback. As always, I will have a life update. For those of you new to this channel, at the very end of the videos, I have a life update that I give and potentially have more insight into what a successful life means to me. So stay tuned for that. Before I get started, one thing I want to mention is that there's a huge difference between a coach, a manager, a leader, and a mentor. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to sum up all those as the term leader or leadership, just to make it easier for me. But I recognize that every single one of these pieces is extremely important within a company. So the first topic is take leadership opportunities through volunteering. With that, I have 2 points that I want to mention that are extremely important to note. First off, do it because you love it. One of the things you'll notice is that all of us as leaders, we do it because we love it. We enjoy seeing people grow, and we just enjoy coaching people and helping them throughout their lives in every aspect. Second point to remember with volunteering is that the time you put into it will directly translate into the skills that you develop through time. An example would be when I was 12 years old, I was given the responsibility to set up and manage a final aid station at a marathon. There was obviously other booths there, but I was given the responsibility to set up a bunch of tables and manage a few 4 or 5 people to help serve the thousands of people finishing the marathon with electrolytes and such. It seems a little crazy that at 12 years old I would have been given that responsibility, but where else and what company is going to give you that responsibility at that age? The second topic is read and learn from an expert. Don't reinvent the wheel. At times, it is necessary to reinvent the wheel, but in general, there's been a lot of people throughout history leading and coaching and mentoring, and we can draw a lot of positive conclusions from their lives to help guide ours. A book that I would recommend is called The $1 Trillion Coach. I don't know much about Bill Campbell outside of reading this book, so I'm not endorsing his entire life. All I know is that within this book, he emphasized honesty, love, compassion, and vulnerability to drive his company and his mentees forward. The book itself talks about Bill's coaching life, and they call up a lot of his mentees and discussing how he helped build trillions of dollars in wealth within their companies. The way at which he achieved this through coaching was developing strong decision-making and conflict resolution processes by using the principles of honesty, humility, love, and most importantly, the vulnerability with your staff and peers. The third point is get a mentor or a coach. Having the humility to know that we, at the end of our lives, will only have a fraction of knowledge compared to what exists in the world is extremely essential. The mentor that I have, I met at a CAS seminar, and I can't speak highly enough of her and her marriage. She is an incredible human being, and I'm very lucky to have her as my mentor. A few things that she's been able to help with is that she's been able to draw from her past experiences to really guide me in my life in a humanitarian way. Another thing is that as I start my small business, she's able to really draw from her past experiences again to really guide me into what's important that I view in my life, as well as how I can give back to the community that's helped me so much. So if you're watching this, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've meant so much to me in my life so far. Topic number 4 is look for spaces where you can give and receive feedback. Maybe this is at work, you're looking for anonymous, or maybe person-to-person feedback. Another area would be in clubs. An example for me would be Toastmasters International. This is a public speaking club, so it's kind of a win-win there. but I feel educated enough on the topic because I was a VP of this club back in 2018, so I feel educated enough to recommend it. The group of people will come together weekly in a collaborative environment to public speak, and you'll have the opportunity to give and receive verbal feedback live in person, and I think that's an extremely valuable skill. I did make an entire video on feedback, so if that's what you're wanting to learn more about, you can click here and learn a little bit more about the importance of feedback. As always, I'll have a life update at the end of the video and some bonus information. If you like this video, hit that like button. Again, leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to get back to it in this series. And as always, subscribe and join the actuarial journey. A life update that I have for all of you is that I moved in March, and as you can see, I got a new set, but I've also been doing a lot of work around the house to create a space that's helpful to me in stressful times. What I mean by that is creating areas in my environment that are separate and segregated so that I can, do work in one area and exist in another area. And one of the large things that I had to do in this place to really, save myself a little bit of time from day to day is get a dishwasher. But primarily the issue here was that we didn't have a spot to put a dishwasher in our kitchen. So I spent some time creating a cabinet. So you guys will get to see a little bit of that. The first step with any great carpentry work is definitely measuring twice and cutting once, which I didn't do. There was a lot of repeated cuts that I had to do with this project. I went to Home Depot just to grab a piece of maple wood, plywood, and got a cut there because I didn't have the tools here to cut it. And then what I did was I got a $10 countertop, old countertop off of Facebook Marketplace, and I started theorizing how to put this together. I skipped in this video some of the actual screwing and designing work of it. You here get to see a lot of the sanding work I did. There's a lot of sanding of cabinetry. I didn't realize that when I first got into it, but hey, sanded for the majority of the time. Next was staining, so I put 2 layers of classic maple stain on it, and then put 3 or 4 layers of varnish on it. After letting it dry for a few days, I was able to actually install it and drill a hole through the side of the cabinet under the kick panel for the drain as well as supply line for the dishwasher itself to go into it, because the dishwasher is a few cabinets over from the sink, so that had to run under the kick panel to get to the actual drain itself. One thing I didn't do was the plumbing work because I didn't trust myself to do the soldering. I feel like that's something that if you screw up, it can have huge consequences because, water just keeps flowing. But I did do the electrical work. We drilled that through, got that all hooked up to the breaker, so that was fun. And last but not least, it's complete. And I will leave this video with an uncomfortably satisfying video of me struggling to take the plastic off the dishwasher at the very end. And again, thanks for watching, and look forward to the next one.